What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. But this video is entitled You're Addicted to Struggle Love. See, a lot of times people are complaining about relationships because they're addicted to struggle love, and you blaming everybody but yourself. And what I mean by that is, some people love the struggle, right? Some people love to struggle, or they're addicted to struggling. So they don't think about the idea that maybe you're just addicted to struggle love. Maybe you're addicted to people who are downtrodden, or you're addicted to the idea that you can save a struggling person, or you can change a struggling person, or you got a hero complex. But somewhere along the lines, you're addicted to struggle love. And what I mean by that is, if you think you can come into somebody's life and change their fortune, or make them into something that they're not at the moment or have never been, and you deem yourself some type of, I'm being facetious, but some type of deity that can, that brings greatness into people's lives, then you got to take into consideration you pick somebody who wasn't probably, they weren't winning, but less than that, they weren't on a positive path. They weren't progressing either. So you can say how much they weren't doing their thing, or they won't get it together, but you got to take responsibility for your own dating history. Like, if you got a history of dating people who people say they ain't ish, then you got to admit that you're addicted to struggle love. You're addicted to dating losers. If you gotta constantly excuse your choices and the people you date because they're not losers, they're just going through a rough patch, they're just this, it's just that, the white man, aka Fred, got his foot on my boo's life. That's not true. You addicted to the idea that you're struggling with somebody, or you have the power to pull them out of the struggle. Some people are on a power trip where they talk bad about struggle love, and that's not what they want. But truth be told, they use struggle love as their pseudo way of having power over an individual, right? They struggling, and I'm gonna take advantage of this. And this is why you get people apprehensive about dating, or people dating up or dating down in class and stuff like that, because people feel like if the person who's dating down might take advantage of the person who's down. And that's a possibility, right? And it's a risk that people take because they're playing games with life and hypergamy all the time. But even to a degree, some of the guys who get red pill rage, what is that about? You probably was a Captain Save 'em, right? And now you mad because you was addicted to trying to save them. And now you mad because it didn't work. And your ego is bruised. And it's their fault that you tried to save multiple people and it didn't work. And if they would have just got with your program, their life would have been better. Okay, if you feel that way, but guess what? You got to admit you picked some losers in that bunch, right? And the thing about it is, a lot of times we blame other people or blame the people that we've been involved with for because of their shortcomings. But sometimes we're the problem. The problem isn't the person you're with. The problem is staring back at you in the mirror, because you don't have standards to say that you're not gonna struggle. And see, here's the kicker. You hear people say, I'm not gonna do this struggle love anymore. I'm not into the struggle love thing. But here's the problem. I might hurt somebody's feelings when I say this. All you gonna have is struggle love, because you ain't built for nothing other than struggle. Like, you didn't improve yourself. You struggling, talking about you not gonna do struggle love when you're actually struggling. How that work? You think you got it together, or you put out to the world that you got it together, but you're struggling. And it's nothing wrong. And the problem isn't the struggle itself, because there's nothing wrong with struggling. We all gonna have ups and downs in life. We're all gonna struggle. That's how life works. Some days you're up, some days you're down. That's just how it goes. But if you're gonna go about it and say, you're not going to, loving a person who's struggling is a burden. But at the same time, when you're struggling, you are entitled to some altruistic savior, then, you got stronger drugs than Rick James. I mean, no. But see, some of y'all addicted to it. And the struggle comes from the home. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times, the addiction of struggle love is a norm because you grew up watching what you consider struggle love. Because what you don't realize is you're watching a group of losers get together because they ain't got nobody else. They're together because out of necessity, not because they want each other, because they're both struggling and now they need it's not the companionship they need the convenience of multiple people to help them out of their situation. So the dynamics of a relationship as a child you saw was struggle related. If they don't stay together, the lights gonna be off. You're not eating, because they can't take care of themselves as adults without the other person. And there's a difference between two people coming together and working as a team, because to a degree that is teamwork. They're helping each other. But the thing about it is, when you have people who don't want to progress, then they stay stagnant, because two heads, like I said before in another video, two heads are better than one. But if you grew up in an environment where you get two people who come together and they're still struggling because they're not thinking their way out of this situation, they're not saving, they're not doing anything, then that's your norm, and that's what you think normal is. And the reason I bring this up is because what winds up happening is the very people who say they are against struggle love, and I say that are addicted to struggle love, when they get around people who are functioning, who are competent, who are progressive, who are positive, they sabotage those interactions, and they go right back to the struggle. See, this is the thing. When you hear people complaining about these guys are cheaters, these guys are liars, these guys are dogs, these guys are, he's a hoe, he's a slut, he's a freak, got a different girl every day of the week, that kind of dude. And you hear the constant complaints about the type of men that are out here. It's all negative. But that demographic of men that are functional, that are competent, there are no complaints about them that are valid. Like you can't, oh, he's too nice, he's lame, I think he's weird, he's wearing penny loafers, I don't like that. you know, he wears, Huaraches and not Jordans. Not my kind of guy. But I like Huaraches though. But anyway. But the complaints are really ridiculous. Why? Because you have those complaints about functional, competent people, so it can justify you going back to struggle love, because that's what you're addicted to. That's what you like. That's what you love. And you enjoy struggle love. See, a lot of y'all enjoy it, but y'all just don't want to admit you enjoy it. So, but you constantly go back to it because, it's not anything other than struggle love isn't normal for you. And people don't want to admit the reality. You're addicted to struggle love because you like it, you love it, and it's your comfort zone, right? And anything outside of that, you have an issue with, because you can't be in multiple struggle love scenarios and say you hate it, and you keep getting older, but you keep older and wiser, but you find yourself in struggle love as you get older and wiser. That's not the people. That's you. You're the common denominator. So, I'm just saying, we out. Peace.